Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. So welcome back to this video whereby we are going to discuss on the process of attending a job interview, and this is for or before you attend a job interview. So let's say you are applying for a job, okay, and then you have sent the cover letter and the resume, and the potential employer has called you for an interview, and what you are supposed to prepare for the interviewing process. So basically over here we are going to look at the preparation for the job interview. So before we start, let us have a look at these interesting lines. Okay, job interviews are like first dates. Good impressions count. Awkwardness can occur. Outcomes are unpredictable. Okay, so when you are going to be called for an interview, it is similar like a first date. Okay, because you don't know the employer and the employer didn't know about you in detail. So your first impressions, like in the previous video that I have shared regarding the grooming part, okay, will be counted for. Alright, sometimes you're going to feel awkward, okay, especially when it is going to be your first time attending the job interview, and the outcomes, though maybe you think that you will be unsuccessful, somehow it is unpredictable. Okay, so preparation before you attend the job interview, right? You have to analyze the job, you have to do the company research, you need to know who will be the interviewer or the interviewers, the location of the company, the documents that you need to bring with you, how are you going to deliver yourself during your presentation, and lastly on the attire. And this one has been covered in the previous video on the grooming part. So let us have a look at the analyzing the job that you're going to apply for. So when you are going to analyze the job, first thing you need to review the job description. So when you are going to apply for a job, normally you're going to look at the job description. So it is stated in the job description your qualification, okay, the minimum qualification that you should have, right? So you're going to look at the qualification, okay. Maybe they are also going to highlight on skills. So remember that, let's say you have completed your diploma study, and if it is stated in the job description that you should possess a diploma, at least then you can apply for the job. Okay, and then it will also be stated there in the job description, okay, or in the job advertisement, what kind of skills that they are looking for. So this is number one in analyzing the job. Number two, you make a list of your skills, your knowledge, your professional and personal qualities. Why? Because this is very important in order for you to look at your strength and also to look at your weaknesses. Okay, so in this context, when you know your skills, you know your knowledge, you know your professional and personal qualities, it will be easier for you to highlight more on the strength. Okay, to highlight more on the strength compared to the weaknesses, and you can easily cover your weaknesses by highlighting what are the personal or the positive personal traits that you have there. Okay, and then in number three, for analyzing the job, match the list to the job requirement. So remember, you're going to talk first regarding your qualification. Okay, then you're going to talk about the skills, and you are also going to look at your personal or positive personal attributes that you can suit it according to the job requirement. Okay, let's have a look at the company research. So number one, look at what kind of products and services that they are offering. So one of the most important thing when you're going to apply for a job and before you attend a job interview, you need to know what are the products or the services being offered by the company. Because why? when you attended a job interview and you showed that you have a background research regarding the company very well, so you are going to be, there is a high possibility that you're going to be selected for further level, okay, or maybe you're going to be hired there and then, because it shows your interest and how interested you are in getting a job from the company. Okay, and then number two, look at who are the clients and the competitors for the company. So in this context, you can do like check and balance. Okay, check and balance, whereby you are going to use some of the skills and knowledge that you have regarding the market, for example, in order for you to get the job, by highlighting how your skills and how your knowledge can help the company to get a better place in the market. Okay, that is one example on checking who are the clients and competitors. Next, number three, or the last one for company research, look at the company's reputation and culture. So you can have a look at the branding, okay, for the reputation. You can also look at the culture or the surrounding or the environment that the company is practicing. So from there, you can guess what kind of working culture that you are going to have in the future when you're going to be hired. And also you're going to have a look at what kind of skills that you can use when you're going to start working there. Okay, we move on to the next slide, which is on how to research a company before an interview. So this is going to be very simple actually, since that we are living in 2021 now, okay, and then we are living in the era of digital. So number one, how you can go and search for a company before an interview, how to do a research. You can look at the company blog if it has one, okay, and then you can also look at the recruiter, okay, company blog, for example. Some of the uh, information you can get it from the official website. So company blog here, I can put it, the similar platform is like a website, okay. So company blog is like a website, the official website, okay. The recruiter, right, so who will be recruiting you? I mean the HR department, okay, the HR department. All right, so you can look or you can check who is leading the HR department, okay. You can also ask about the company from the receptionist or the front desk, okay, because normally they know in detail regarding the company. So you can just make a phone call, okay, or you can also ask them regarding the company in general, okay, something that is not in private and confidential level, okay. You can also check about the company from the social media, okay. It is not only applicable on Twitter but also on other social media platform. And lastly, you can also check through last minute news. Okay, what does it mean by last minute news? We're going to have a look at it in detail in the next slides. Okay, right, for company blog, right, you can look at about us. So under about us, normally they're going to talk about the business, the competitors, spelling mistakes over here, and then the goals of the company. So vision and mission will be helpful when you're going to plan for applying for a job at the company. Right. The press release will be helping you on getting the news about the company. So if you are good at searching for the news about the company, okay, so this is very helpful for you because you can get the latest information about the company. And lastly, you can have a look at the team. And I believe most of the major companies nowadays, okay, they showcase this kind of information in their official website, whereby you can have a look at the company's culture, the working environment, okay, and then how do they cope with the latest trend in the working world. For social media profiles, okay, you can check on their LinkedIn, okay, because it is more professional, and then it suits the size of the corporation, okay. And then you can also check their Twitter, right, This is more on informal two-way communication, and then there will be some updates regarding the company's events. Okay, most major companies, they have their own Twitter account. So in case if you're going to apply for a job that is related to handling the social media platform, so this is one of the tasks that that you need to be familiar with. All right, you can also check their Facebook and Instagram, because in Facebook normally, right, people are going to give the review. The clients will be giving their review in Facebook, and then you can also look at the Instagram, whereby they are highlighting more on the company's culture through the platform. Okay. At the same time, this is very important, audit your social media presence, because, all right, nowadays when they are going to hire for a new staff, they are going to search for you in the social media platform first. If your social media is like very dull, okay, there are very rare updates from you, so there is a possibility that you are not going to be called for an interview, or you are not going to get into the next stage. So what does it mean by that is that you need to update your social media presence by highlighting what kind of courses or workshops or trainings that you have attended, and also at the same time how you utilize your information, the skills, the knowledge that you have gained in any kind of way. Okay, so that is the meaning on auditing your social media presence. And also, do not forget, when it comes to social media, do not upload unnecessary materials in your social media platform, because somehow it gives bad impression about you. Okay. Alright, for the recruiter, ask details regarding hiring process. So you can contact the HR department and also the person in charge. Alright, you can ask them, what do you need to prepare when you're going to attend the interview. Some of the interviewing process will require you to bring your own laptop, whereby they are going to ask you to design certain things. Okay, if you are applying for a designer. Right, and then some of the interviews will be asking you to get into groups, and then you need to work on a small project. So what are the things, or what are the materials that you need to bring? So in order for you to know more about that, you can ask the recruiter on that information. So last minute news, okay, you can do last minute research, right? Somehow you can also ask from the people inside, okay? So if you have, or if you know anyone working in the group, in the company, then you can ask the information from the person inside. Okay, so from person inside. Right, you can also check the latest news. Okay, maybe like in the segment called business trends, for example, depending on the nature of the business of the company that you are applying for. Okay, so if the company that you are applying for is in the IT section, then you can look at the IT department or IT section in the newspaper, perhaps, okay, to know more about the latest news. And lastly, you can check their social media to look for any updates. Okay, look for any updates in the social media. All right, any updates in the social media. Okay, so you can also get some information from the receptionist. Okay, the receptionist meaning that the person sitting at the front desk. So number one, you need to introduce yourself. Who are you? And what is the purpose of you calling the front desk? Okay, you can get some information related to the working at the company. So especially on some useful information like what do you like about working here. Okay, you can ask them. All right, maybe you can talk about, maybe they will give you some input or some information regarding the benefits of working at the company. All right, how many people are working there? Okay, and then how long the company has been in this building. All right, so this kind of information will be very helpful when you're going to attend a job interview, whereby you know some uh, what do you call it, necessary information, or people might say that this is not important, but somehow when you attend a job interview and you are able to provide this kind of answers or this kind of information, it shows that you are well prepared for the interview. Okay, for the interviewers, right, you can check their LinkedIn to find common ground and build rapport. Okay, right, so how to build your rapport? So for example, Okay, if he or she like about something, so you can highlight that if you are sharing the same interest. Okay, so when you attend the job interview, all right, so you can mention about this. Okay, by saying that, right, on the common ground, both of you like designing. Okay, you like to design things, so you like to use this kind of theme. So you can use that kind of information to impress the interviewer or the interviewers. Okay, this is very important actually to check on the locations. Okay, when you are looking at the locations, you are supposed to know about the venue. Okay, you are talking about the venue. If you are familiar with the place, if you are familiar with the location, then it shouldn't be a problem. But most of the time, you will be having difficulty to look for the location of the company. So number one, what you can do is that you can use Google Maps or similar apps, okay, to search for the company. It's going to be very easy. Just key in the address and then it will bring you to the location. All right. Number two, you can test drive. Okay, if you are driving, so the day before that you can test drive, going to the company, and then you can estimate how many. What are the time that needed for you to reach the destination. Okay, and then lastly, do not be late for your interview. So this is very important. Be punctual, be on time. Okay, if you need to be there by 9 o'clock, so you have to be there before 9. Okay, if the interview starts at 9, so you have to be there at least by 8:50 or earlier. Okay. Right, so for the documents, make copies of important documents. Okay, sometimes uh, they need you to bring the original copy. Sometimes they can ask you to bring the photocopied version. So please bring both so that in case they need it, you can provide both. Okay, so for the documents, of course, when you're going to attend a job interview, based on what you have highlighted in the cover letter and also your resume, so you have to bring the proof. So the documents for the interviewing process is going to be the proof for your qualification and skills. Okay, for the speech part, as a practice, you can stand in front of a mirror and practice answering possible questions that may be asked by the interviewer or the interviewers. So for this context, okay, I'm going to share with you later on, not in this video, okay, on some of the possible questions that will be asked during the interview. For example, the most common question, the first question is tell us about yourself. So what kind of answer that you are supposed to give to them and how to practice for that, okay, I'm going to teach you in the next session. Okay, next, rehearse for a few times to ensure you know how to answer the question. So it's going to be very easy. Once you are being called for an interview, uh, by looking at the possible questions that they are going to give you, so you can get prepared for the answers. And then prepare a list of career related questions to ask to the interviewers. Pardon me. Okay, so it is not only about the salary, you can also ask about career advancement, for example, to the interviewer. Okay, for attire, it's going to be the same as what I have mentioned in the previous video. Iron your suit if you need to, okay, a day before the interview, not the morning of the interview itself. Okay, try on your suit a day or two before the interview to make sure it is appropriate and comfortable. So maybe you have the suit for like several months before. Okay, you bought it several months before. So please try it again a day or two before the interview to make sure that it is still fit and it is still appropriate and comfortable. Okay, and then you can also refer to the previous video on the attire. Okay, so please refer to the video that I have prepared earlier. Alright, so we are reaching towards the end of it. So the strongest factor for success is self-esteem. So you need to be brave, you need to be confident, okay, when you are going to attend a job interview, because everything is about you. Okay, so you need to believe you can do it. Of course, it is going to be only you, not other person. Okay, and you need to believe that you deserve the position. So how to make sure about this? You're going to highlight all the skills, all the experiences, all the knowledge that you have gained in order to make sure that you are the most suitable candidate that they are looking for. And you must believe that you will get the position. So do your best, use all of the um, important or positive traits that you have, okay, to make sure that you are outstanding compared to other candidates. And that's all from me. If you have any other question regarding this topic, you can always reach me in our WhatsApp group. And I believe that's all from me. Thank you very much, and Assalamu alaikum. Goodbye, everyone.